Hey Pisces, welcome to your September 2024 mid-month reading. We're just going to go ahead and get started like we always do. I hope you're doing well. I do want to say if you would like to book a personal reading with me, of course, that link will be down below in the description. If you click that link, it will take you straight to my website. And then from there, of course, you can purchase a reading. Also, you can see the other readings that I have to offer as well. All right, let's see though, Pisces, what is going on with you for the rest of September? Here we go. All right, let's see here. You pulled the Knight of Wands, the Fool card, and you also pulled the Magician here. You have the World card here in your current energy at this time. Your challenge is the Judgment. Let's see, the future position you have here is the High Priestess. A lot of major arcana coming out so far. So far you have 5 major arcana. So I feel like there's a lot of things coming up for you. I mean, this lunar eclipse that we're having is in your sign, right? So there probably is a lot of big spiritual themes playing out for you. So let's see here. Tower, you have another major arcana. You also have the 5 of Wands here. Outcome is the Emperor. Wow. So you have, out of the 9 cards that I just pulled, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them are major arcana. So I kind of feel like your sense of self, your life in general, Pisces, is just like there's just multiple different areas here in which bigger spiritual themes are playing out that you're just trying to understand. Lunar eclipses can be kind of rough, kind of tough. So you could be feeling that energy. Like you could be feeling like the release of a lot of old things, especially with the World card being in your current energy, the letting go of things, but also like the newer things that are starting to be activated, especially with the Judgment being here in your challenge, because the Judgment is the call to awakening. It's like this deeper part of ourselves that we start to connect to, or that we start to discover, or just things that we start to discover in general with life. And it's now adding as a new form of purpose to our life. So it's in the challenge. I think you're trying to get really clear though about like what this purpose is or what these deeper things are here, so that way you can have clarity and be able to understand like your relation to everything that you're going through in your life. So, and I think your advice at this time is to embrace the challenge here of what's going on. Like don't shy away from it. Don't try to like escape it here, Pisces, because right now what's really being attended to in your world at this time is your foundation and your roots, not just spiritually, but emotionally. The 4th house, it deals with our personal life. It can deal with our home life. It could also deal with like our inner world. And I always say like a good 4th house always indicates an individual who has like a consistent rhythm of joy and happiness. But when there's things going on, like hard stuff going on in the 4th house, and you just have to see which side of the coin you're on, right? So take it as it resonates. But the 4th house is like where the shadow side or where the struggle can come in. If there's something going on in the 4th house, it could cause us to feel like uprooted. It could cause us to feel not as spiritually rooted or not as emotionally rooted. And it can make us feel like not happy or not as enthusiastic, or not just as not feel that joy as consistently as we would like, right? So, and I think there is a lot of things going on in your inner world with the 4th house. So I think you're being embraced. I think you're being encouraged though to embrace your inner world, especially with the High Priestess here in the future position. You do have good stuff here in the read, but I'm just kind of course, I'm going to go deep with the read. Because the High Priestess, like, it is exploring the inner world. It is the gate. The High Priestess is the gatekeeper to the underworld, and it's through like pulling the veil back, going into your inner world, doing deeper introspection, reflection, that you start to really discover these deeper things, gifts, Judgment, High Priestess, parts of yourself, recovering parts of yourself, letting go of old parts of yourself here. And the full moon's in your sign, so it's your sense of identity, your soul, your spirit, and your being here that are going through big activations. You have this Me Talks card. It says repairing the body, mind, and spirit. So if you need time, like, because this card is like, you know, to where it's like, when you're going through a lunar eclipse that's in your fucking sign, it's like, you need this, right? You need to be able to like really connect to your mind, body, and your spirit. And so the Me Talks part, like having, you know, like really reconnecting to those parts of yourself. But also this is about like detox, like letting go of negativity, right? Letting go of the heaviness, right? Like clearing all that stuff out. I already feel like all that stuff is being cleared out You pull this, remember love is the key. Love what you have in your life right now. Some of you, it's like you're wanting to be somewhere else at this time, which is understandable, especially if you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, or you're in an energy, or you're feeling something that you don't want to feel. It's like you're hoping to be somewhere else very quickly. But I feel like you'll miss the lessons here with the Judgment. Five of Wands is the advice that are really trying to be showed to you at this time, because in order for you to grow and step into the individual that you want to be, with the Emperor here being in the outcome, which I do see you doing that, but the Five of Wands is like the advice is like having to embrace like what the challenges are, what the lessons are here for you. But just seeing your situation as like, instead of thinking like, oh, the universe hates me, or like God hates me, it's like, no, the universe loves you, God loves you. And at this time, like there could be some things here that you're having to learn, but by embracing them, it's like, you know, it will help you here, right? Not you know, Pisces, I ain't trying to call you out, but there is that escapist energy with Pisces. You have the Fool card here for your overall energy. Yeah, and the Fool card deals with newer beginnings, and it's the newer start of things. I want to say here as well that the Fool card is telling you to embrace the possibilities, though, of situations. Like sometimes we can cap our mind or cap our possibilities here, or think like, oh, that can't happen for me, or oh, that won't happen for me. The Fool card is saying you got to roll the dice, right? You got to see what can happen. You pull the Knight of Wands here in the position of the good stuff here. I think there's a form of, what I'm picking up intuitively is like the Knight, I kind of sense this card as like a newer venture here that you're beginning or starting here. Something that you're passionate about, something that you're going to be enthusiastic about. I just see you here, like your energy here being more active in general. So if you've been kind of feeling like stagnant or stuck, or just feeling like the energy hasn't been flowing, I think this is like where things start to flow here with the Knight of Wands, where things start to really change. You have the Magician as well in the position of the good stuff, which is indicative of manifestation. So I do feel like you're manifesting things that you have your eyes on, that you're channeling your intentions into. So I like this card. I think at this time as well, by really focusing on what you manifest, because the energy is so potent for you, like you're able to actually manifest a lot more quicker here than you actually would expect. So the Magician could be also a card of urgency, to where if there is something you're wanting to manifest, it's now the time to do it. You have the World card here in your current energy. Like I feel, you know, you're going through a lunar eclipse at this time. There's old cycles closing, old things closing, right? And newer things that are going to be starting to happen here with the World card. So it's kind of a chapter here, or you know, like a cycle here, a new beginning of a cycle here. You have the Judgment here in your challenge. Like I said, I think your challenge at this time is like the Judgment card is the call to awakening. It's when, like I said, there's this newer part of ourselves that is awakening, and it's like showing us like our divine purpose or our divine mission, or it's just showing us something on a larger scale that is important that we have to embrace. And I think this, with it being in the challenge, is like you can't. It's like it's revealing itself still. And I think too, I may am picking up this weird energy, Pisces, to where I feel like you're judging yourself. Five of Wands, and this has been coming out for the collective for a lot of people. It's not just you, Pisces. Comparison. Venus being in the South Node of Libra is like bringing up comparison like a motherfucker. And the Five of Wands as advice is saying don't compare yourself to anybody else, or compare your life to anybody else, right? Five of Wands, the reason why I say that is because the Five of Wands is an energy of competition. So that's where the comparison thing can come in, right? But also I would say not to be afraid to be competitive as well. You know, don't be afraid to like be competitive with what you're doing. Like sometimes we can see competition as a bad thing. It's like, yeah, I guess you can say like, you know, if it starts to turn into like something that's just like, it's not competition anymore. It's just like just people being like authoritarian, right? Like, but the Five of Wands is saying like, it's okay to like be ambitious, and it's also okay to embrace your competitive nature, right? But I think with the Judgment card, is like you could be feeling judged by others. Like I feel like this is going on subconsciously, because the Judgment is the archetype of Pluto. So Pluto deals with subconscious, unconscious energies, to where you don't even know these things could be playing out for you, but they are. Like you could be comparing yourself to other people, or maybe you're feeling like other people are judging you, but that may not even be there, right? Like, so it could be a projection energy. I'm not saying you're the one projecting. You could be the one that's getting projected on, or it could be both, right? But the Five of Wands is saying like, just compare yourself to who you were. Five of Wands is play the game, practice makes perfect. So your advice is saying here to embrace the challenges in regards to what you're trying to become. Because by doing that, it's like you learn and grow, then you're able to discover your potential here with the High Priestess, the other major arcana here in the future position, like uncovering your potential, right? Uncovering your hidden gifts, skills, talents, and bringing them out into the world. And I really want to say here as well, you know, the High Priestess, it's connected to the moon archetype, but it also is connected to Pisces. And Pisces, there you do have this, the sign Pisces, the archetype is like this internal depth of wisdom and knowledge that is inconclusive. And there could be like this wisdom that you have that you're really being called to rely upon at this time, like to trust in your own inner guidance here. And I want to clarify this to get more, but with the Emperor here being in the outcome, I always say the Emperor in the outcome is a form of achievement. It's a 4. The 4s in the tarot represent stability, structure, right? And so things being built, things coming together, and it's your sense of self, it's your identity, right? When you have a lunar eclipse in your sign or on your whatever the fuck it is in Pisces, especially if it's Sun, Moon, and I want to say Venus as well, or rising Pisces. When you have a lunar eclipse there, it's like your sense of self is changing. Sorry, this is what's happening. But the Emperor is like there's a new sense of self that's formulating though at the same time, and I see you stepping into a new form. Like it's a new sense of self here that you're stepping into. You do have the Tower here in the position of something that you're unaware of. I would say the Tower is, you know, to embrace change, really. Like that changes are happening, and it's important. It's important for you to embrace them and allow yourself to change. Like you don't have to be the same person you've always been, right? Because the Tower is like when we try to clutch onto the remains of the past. The past is the past. Like you can't clutch onto those things anymore. They're gone, right? It's like trying to, you know, rebuild that same fucking tower that already fell. All right, let's clarify your reading. Clarify the Knight of Wands here in the position of the good stuff. You have the King of Pentacles here. I actually see when it comes to career work or your business or any type of project here that you're working on, Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles could be to where it's like, yeah, I feel like there's success here, but it's more so the enjoyment of what you're doing, what you're creating, what you're building, right? Passion. I also feel like there's a deeper sense of Kundalini activation going on. I always look at Kundalini energy as being connected to the archetype of Pluto, the planet Pluto, and that's the judgment and the challenge, which ignites a deeper sense of life force and passion in regards to something in your life. And that's what I feel like that Knight of Wands energy is, like the enthusiasm or passion here with your career work or project. Clarify the Fool card for the overall energy. You have the 8 of Cups here. Yeah, 8 of Cups is stepping into the unknown, right? Exploring the unknown. It's symbolic of your vision quest, spiritual journey in life. And we're always deepening that, becoming aware of that. And the Fool card is saying here, don't allow yourself to become rigid in one way of being or see yourself as being one type of person. It's like you're always going to be growing and evolving and exploring more of who you are. And you're being encouraged with the Fool card to embrace the possibilities, but allow yourself to also like explore newer parts of yourself and newer things in your life here, and to be open to the possibilities, right? Like sometimes we're like, well, I don't think that's me, so I'm not going to even try it. Or I don't think I'll get success, so I'm not even going to try it, even though it's like your soul is screaming 8 of Cups to do it. Clarify the Magician in the position of the good stuff. You have the 9 of Swords here. 9 of Swords is the never-ending nightmare. It's like when we're caught up in a circle of thought that deals with doubt, stress, worry, fear. I think with this Magician card, 9 of Swords as well could be to where it's like we feel like we don't have control over our circumstances, or we're just like we feel like we're going to be stuck in this never-ending nightmare cycle. But the Magician actually says like, no, you have the power to influence it and change it, right? Like understand your power to manifest. And this, with this card being in the good stuff, it's saying that no, like you have, like it's where your thought and energy is going that is creating what has been playing out for you that has felt like a never-ending nightmare. It's like you can intentionally change the direction of thought, because the Magician is the archetype of Mercury. Mercury deals with our mind and our intellect, thought processes, communication. Oh, never mind. Clarify the World card in your current energy. You have the 8 of Swords here. Eight of Swords is saying to trust yourself here. Like Eight of Swords can be a card to where, because the World card is like, okay, something new is beginning. Eight of Swords is, with it being new, it has to be like, make sure that it's in alignment with your truth, Eight of Swords. Otherwise, you're going to feel confused and stuck. It's about trusting in your own experience and truth and believing in your own unique perspectives when it comes to things you want to create and enjoy. And now compare yourself. Eight of Swords, Five of Wands is complete comparison. That can be comparison energy. Eight of Swords as well is saying, analysis paralysis. I would say here that don't overanalyze things or get caught up in a cycle of analysis paralysis. Because the Eight of Swords World card can be like, I want to know all the answers right now because I want to know how my whole future is going to play out. This is not realistic. You're never going to know. But this card, the World card, is destiny and fate and where you're going. And I just noticed this. Like, there's so many things that I can discover, like with the reading. It's that the World card is, because I say this all the time, that fate, you have free will. It's sometimes we don't feel like we're in control of our fate. No, you are in control of your fate. You have free will. The fate is indicated. If you know the pattern of something and you know the structure of something, you can predict fate. So let's just say, for an example, if you're someone who always overthinks, or you're someone who always is in analysis paralysis, or like, which I'm not referencing you, Pisces, but what I'm saying, like, let's just say, like, you're someone who, overthinks things, or, doesn't allow themselves to take action, or, always has everything prepared, but always, doubts themselves. And then the next thing they know, like, they always, like, kind of never get what they want. And then it, like, creates this pattern of, I don't know where the fuck I'm trying to go with this, to be honest. I'm trying to, like, paint a picture, but it's not making any sense. Let's just say, for instance, self-sabotage. Like, if there's a pattern of self-sabotage, you can predict that there's going to be self-sabotage, right? But if you understand the pattern of self-sabotage, you have free will to break that pattern and take control of your fate and have a different fate, right? And the World card being here in your current energy, it's like it's bringing up your destiny. The World card is the long journey of life and what you're ultimately creating. And by the end of it, what happens, right? So it's like destiny, fate. Eight of Swords is like, maybe you're wondering at this time, you're trying to, I think there's an energy here to where you have a chance here to break patterns, cycles. Eight of Swords, the World card. And that Nine of Swords being here, it's just like where we feel like, oh man, like, I don't want to be caught up in this pattern anymore, this cycle. But the Magician and the good stuff is saying here, like, no, like, you have free will to influence, right? But it's about your mind, right? Mercury, it's about understanding the patterns, right? Because Mercury understands patterns. That's why Mercury deals with communication, language, and numbers and mathematics and all that stuff, because it's pattern. The ability to put two things together and be like, oh, I understand. Oh, that makes sense. I understand. I get it. Mercury. So it's like, by understanding what your patterns are, you can break them. Clarify the Judgment in your challenge. You have the Seven of Cups here. And I think your challenge at this time is like, there's deeper desires here that you're exploring, but you haven't really come to those fuller realizations of what you really are desiring here. But I will say this too, on the flip side, Pisces, I do think that you know what you're desiring at this time, but it's about making that full commitment to it. And that's where the Five of Wands can come up as the advice. It's like, okay, well, this is going to test you, right? This is going to challenge you, but you have to embrace the challenge as the advice. But I think when you do that, it's like you step into your power and achievement here with the Emperor, and you start to really formulate and create a sense of self here, or become the type of person that you want to be, or to create what it is that you've been wanting to create. Clarify the High Priestess in the future. You have the Ten of Wands here. Yeah, and I think Ten of Wands is an energy of, it's the burden of choice. There also is this there also is this thing with the Ten of Wands to where it's commitments. And the High Priestess is spiritual, your spiritual commitment and commitments here, like spiritually committing yourself to growth, or spiritually committing yourself to exploring and cultivating your potential. And that's what I see you doing here. Clarify the Tower. You have the Judgment card in the position of something that you're unaware of here. I would say that the Judgment Tower together is an energy of like embracing change, right? And allowing for you to, and stepping into some form of newer purpose here. Like there's a newer purpose, there's a newer revelation, big revelation here that is changing things. I already feel like this is something you're aware of. I don't think this is anything coming up. But it's like the rebuilding. It's like the, it's the doing something different. Clarify the Five of Wands as the advice. You have the Five of Swords here. I want to say as your advice, Five of Wands, Five of Swords is don't compare yourself to other people, but this is also too to where it's like our own values are mixed in with other people's values, or we think that we have to create in a way that matches what everybody else wants and expects of us, or that has to meet their needs. It's like you can't please everybody. Five of Wands, Five of Swords. So you want to, if you're going to create something, you want to do it from a place that is authentic with your self-expression, Five of Wands, and not do something in a way to please other people or to like get attention from others. It's like doing things for yourself in a way that makes you proud. Five of Wands, Five of Swords reminds me of like, I'm going to do this so I can get attention from other people, right? Or I need people to see me this way. Or what if they see me this way? Or what if people think this of me? Or it can be stuff like that, right? But Five of Wands is saying be who you are authentically and create from that place of authenticity and express your own unique nature. Do things in your own way. And, maybe you're developing that. Five of Wands, because the Five of Wands is Saturn and Leo. It's the development of the personality, the individual self-expression, one's own authority and confidence, right? With something particular. It doesn't just have to be overall. So it's like play the game, right? Practice makes perfect. The more you embrace the uncomfortable, the more you take on the challenges. It's like with the Emperor here in the future, you have two fours here. Four of Pentacles is a card of achievement. And I want to say this too, is like I said, the Emperor is like your sense of self. And the Emperor deals with achievement. Four of Pentacles. I always say the Four of Pentacles is like a knockoff version. It's like the off-brand of the Emperor. So this is kind of like a double clarification here. But what I will say that the Emperor deals with your sense of self and coming into the type of individual that you want to be. The Emperor also deals with the ability to self-govern oneself, right? And that gives you power and influence and control, right? When you're in control of yourself and you can control the things that you can control, and you do the work that needs to be done, you hold yourself accountable, right? And you embrace your own sense of identity. And with the Four of Pentacles, it's like you achieving things, you coming in. It's interesting because the Four of Pentacles would be like you achieve something and you get something that gives you power and influence, but it also shows you that the Four of Pentacles asks where your power lies, and with it being with the Emperor, the power lies within inside yourself here to have influence over your situation here. But it all stimulates from what you do with your energy and how you manage yourself and how you assert yourself here, or how you create here. That's from a place of what you can control. So I think that's what's going to help you get success and achieve things here. So let's see here. You pulled this fluidity card. It says outer core. I think you're being encouraged here to be fluid, be flexible here. Pisces, you deal with the magic, right? And the fourth house roots, I think I'm almost kind of picking up this energy, Pisces, to where it's like emotionally letting go and surrendering and allowing for just the authentic expression to come through without judgment. You have the Python card. It says discernment, detachment, transformation, renewal. It's like a snake shedding its skin. I think you're going through a transformation. And that's the renewal part of this card and the transformation. But I think it's important too, like to have discernment and detachment from the comparison thing. You have the Salmon card. It says faith, determination, independence, and change here. So obviously I feel Spirit saying to have faith in what you're doing, remain determined, right? Embrace your independence here. And also the change part, if you ever take a look at a salmon, the way they can jump streams. But first they have to embrace the resistance. Five of Wands advice. They have to embrace the resistance of change, of the changes that are happening, or making the changes and embracing that resistance. But when the salmons do that, they are able to leap into the other stream. it could be like a waterfall, like a little waterfall, like stream coming down, and salmon can leap into other streams. So, and what that means is the ability to be cardinal, like to be able to change direction, right, and not get caught up in, you know, a rigid way of doing things, but allowing and embracing change, because this lunar eclipse is bringing in change for you. And with Aries, it's the sense of self and identity, right? So allowing yourself to step into a newer form of being. So that's what I got for you, Pisces, in your reading. I appreciate you for watching. If you want to book a personal reading with me, that link will be down below in the description. If you click that link, it'll take you straight to my website, of course. If you're newer to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe. Also hit the notification bell as well. And if you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button for me. Otherwise than that, Pisces, I'm wishing you the best, and I'll see you in your next video.